Liz and I are always ready for anything.
And we did everything on our first Carnival vacation.
Like catching views from the ropes course and laying out by the beach cabanas at Amber Cove.
Oh, and those mesmerizing drinks at the fortune teller bar.
That girls' trip was one for the books.
And it's all because we chose fun. Together.
Book a cruise with your friends starting from $349 at Carnival.com. Carnival. Choose fun. Together. Cruises are in U.S. dollars per person, double occupancy. Taxes, fees, and port expenses additional. Restrictions apply. Full details on Carnival.com. Ships registry, Bahamas, Panama.
Local news, national news, even feel-good news. Delivering the topics that are relevant to you.
That's why I listen to Joe. He covers it all.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
So I thought this was really interesting. There's now an effort by a Japanese pharmaceutical startup. A team of scientists are going to start human trials on a new drug that has successfully grown new teeth in animal test subjects. They're going to try human trials. They tried it on mice, and they tried it on some other varmint animal. What was it? A ferret. They tried it on ferrets, and it worked in mice and ferrets, and it grew teeth. It's a medicine that'll help you regrow teeth. My concern would be, where exactly do the teeth grow? Right? Would that not be disgusting? Because with our luck, right, you'd have a tooth growing right out of the middle of your forehead. It's like, is that a horn? Are you a unicorn? Is that a horn in your head? Would that not be weird? It's amazing, modern science these days. We still don't have a cure for cancer, but evidently we're going to be able to cure if you lose a tooth. They'll be able to give you a drug to regrow you teeth. Is that weird? It seems weird to me. Laurel is back, by the way. Not to be confused with Laurel's front, but Laurel's back. And Laurel, you were on a double secret assignment this week. And for what it's worth, I don't think it was a very closely held secret.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So tell everybody where you were.
I was on the Disney Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
Now, again, explain what that is for those that don't know, because most of us don't know what that is.
No, it was, and I say cruiser, but it was not a cruise. It was a hotel. It's Disney's Star Wars hotel that's attached to the Park Hollywood Studios. And it's a completely immersive Star Wars adventure for like 3 days. You're on that quote-unquote cruise ship. And it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
Now, for those who don't know, it's kind of important to know that if there ever was someone who was the queen geek of geeks for all things Star Wars related, then Laurel Lee would wear that crown, yes?
Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you.
Okay. And so not only is it a fun experience for somebody, even if they don't know Star Wars, but for someone such as yourself and your husband, Alex, you guys are both immersed. I mean, if you go to your house, it's an immersive experience with Star Wars stuff.
That's fair.
I mean, they've got to really step up their game at Disney to be more immersive than your own house is.
Yeah, and I was telling somebody that. I said, I'm a snob when it comes to Star Wars, right? I'm pretty snooty about it. I'm like, oh, you've seen the couple movies,
yeah.
Very good. A claps for you, right?
No, she's seen everything.
Snooty about it, right?
Even the bad stuff she's seen. Even the cartoons that nobody watches, she's seen.
Right. Ewok Adventure, Christmas Story. Anyways, yeah, it was outstanding. It blew me away. Any of my wildest dreams, Disney tackled it 100%.
And it's so tragic because yours was, if I understand right, the second to the last voyage?
Correct. That was the penultimate. Today was the very last voyage.
Right, the big P word.
Off.
Nice. Very
Yes.
impressive. Everybody's looking that up right now. Penultimate. Look it up. It's penultimate. And it's closing because it's a very expensive experience and they just didn't have the traffic.
Yeah, I guess so. And I don't think there's enough words to explain the magic that is that cruise. And I understand now where the big price ticket comes from. At the very base, it is all you can eat food for nearly 48 hours. So there's that. Their actors there are absolutely top tier. It is the best of the best Disney actors. They have to have severe improv skills because they are with the guests nearly all day, like with the guests. So you could tell them any story, ask them any question, and they will stay in character. And anything could happen, and they will stay in character. every corner of the quote-unquote ship is completely detailed out in Star Wars stuff. The food, like they went to chefs and they said, peanut butter and jelly, make it Star Wars. And they did. They said, take pizza, make it Star Wars. And they did. I mean, it's just down to the very last detail was completely covered, and it was just outstanding.
Well, and that answers a question for me that I've had previously, and I think a lot of people have, and that is if they weren't getting enough people to do it, then why not just lower the price and make it more affordable for more people to do it? But it seems as if, as you say, they've spent so much money. The operating costs are so high for that they really couldn't lower the price.
No, and I don't know how they could without taking the magic away. I guess they could take away the buffets, the all you can eat, and then you'd have to pay per meal. But even that, like, takes away from the magic a little bit, you know? Like, it just would not be the same experience. And so I understand that people were upset about the price point. I get it. But it wouldn't have been the same if they, quote unquote, lowered the price point. Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. But it was fun. And is there not a point where you go, I mean, you're not allowed to go outdoors? No. You have to take a launch pod back down to Batu, Earth, because it's an intergalactic cruise, Joe. You're in space. Well, I'm just thinking about claustrophobia and anxiety, and it's like at some point I would feel like I need fresh air. I need to get out. Okay. So you go into your ship at 1 p.m. on your first day, right? Okay. And they immediately have you busy. You're in, you go to your rooms, but then you have to do something called muster, which means you have to, like, you're immediately in the story. It's literally like a cruise ship. You have to muster on a cruise ship. Absolutely. So they immediately have you busy. You do muster, and then you have to go off and find your mission, and then it's dinner time, and you have to be at dinner. So you're so busy, you're not thinking, oh, I haven't gone outside today. And then the second day, you do go outside, and you can go outside from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m., and you can be outside that whole time if you want. How? You take the launch pod back down to Batu. And so that way you'll be in that Star Wars land there at Hollywood Studios. Correct. Okay. And you can go to the rest of the parks if you want, but you have to come back and get on your launch pod by 4 to go back to the ship. Okay. And then you're out by 9 a.m. the following day. So it's not like you're, in a confined room for a week straight. Right. And again, they're so busy. You have so much to do and so many things you can do. You're much too busy to think about how claustrophobic you are. Now, I don't want to get into the details about how you paid for it or anything, but generally speaking, what does it cost? It's $5,000 is a roundabout for my husband and I. Yeah, and it's a lot. It is, but like I said, I get it now. They have to pay all those crew members. They have to pay each crew member down to the person who bussed your lunch table. Had a story and a character and a name. And it wasn't just, I'm, Laurel from Endor. It's, my name is this, Star Wars name, and I live on Endor, but I was originally from the moons of Corellia, and we moved here when I was 10 because my father was it's just like the person cleaning the rooms had these big stories. Wow. So you could engage anybody, and they could tell you their whole background and how they got to Chandrilla Star Lines, and it was just incredibly immersive. I know everybody hates Disney right now, but Disney is really, really good at that kind of magic. I mean, they're really good at that. And even I don't know if people realize this, but when you go to Disney Springs, as an example, there is a whole storyline that is written about Disney Springs. Disney Springs is not just a shopping and restaurant district. Disney Springs dates back to the early 1900s. If you know the storyline that exists, and each of the buildings there has a different story. I mean, and Disney is brilliant at storytelling. Yeah, they absolutely are. And I really feel like this was Disney's best of the best. Like, they went to their Imagineers and they said, show off. Show us the best you can do. And they did. And people can't stop talking about it. And yet we also don't have enough words to talk about what an incredible experience it was. And what a shame that it is closing down. Any idea, any word, any insight as to what's going to happen with that space now? No, and I honestly don't know what they could even do with it. Because, it's a big dining hall, it's a bar, it's a merchant shop, and it's 3 or 4 floors of rooms. And I'm sorry, pinpoint where that is? It is behind the Star Wars land in Hollywood Studios.
So it's behind Batuu.
Yeah, and essentially when you take your launch pod to Batuu, they put you in a box truck. And it's a box, like you don't know that unless you know that, right? Because it looks like you just got into a Star Wars ship. But it's a decked out box truck. And they truck you from the hotel to the entrance of Star Wars land in Hollywood Studios. And then you get out there and you go through a rocky hallway of sorts and enter into the Star Wars land. So.
And again, I'm asking a lot of dumb questions here, but are you allowed to take pictures or is it like all proprietary?
No, we were allowed to take videos and photos of anything. And that's the other thing, too. The actors, I mean, I could videotape my whole conversation with them and they're ready for it. It's all good. They are ready for anything. It's amazing.
Now, I they may well bulldoze the facility, but I feel for the actors. I mean, those are people who put a lot of time and effort into it, the cast members, and I would hate to think that they're going to be out of a job. I would love to think that they're going to be repurposed in Batuu somewhere and be able to continue to work.
Well, not only are the actors, did they do such a good job with their characters, but I learned that if you're a certain character on the Halcyon one night, you might be a second character. So, like, the guy who was one character is Kylo Ren the next night, right? And so they have to learn multiple roles.
Like understudies.
Like understudies, exactly.
Oh my
they
gosh.
have to know multiple roles, which is incredible because they all have lines, they all have personalities. And, and so I know one of the guys that was one of the characters on the ship is also another character at Magic Kingdom, right? So I know he has a kind of a slotted role already in Magic Kingdom. But for people like the bartenders, for people like the food service workers, I think Disney's really good at offering them a parallel spot in the parks. I don't think they're just like, get out.
Yeah.
But I do still feel bad. A lot of the cast members, they had tattoos, literal tattoos of the Halcyon logo because they were so invested in this project and they saw how special it was. They tattooed the symbol on themselves.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say this. So what is the Halcyon again?
It is the name of the ship.
The ship that you take? That's the name of the cruise. That's the cruiser.
That's the cruiser's name, yes.
Because you know that Halcyon is a drug, right?
You keep telling me that, yes.
So Halcyon is a sedative. In fact, if you've ever been to sedation dentistry, that's likely the drug they give you is Halcyon. And I find it amusing that they named the cruiser after a sedative.
I wasn't there for that meeting. I don't know why that happened.
That's kind of awesome. All right. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I am very glad you're back. You were certainly missed while you were gone, so I'm glad that you're back. Coming up, we've got a Florida-based dog trainer who has sparked an online controversy because he has named 3 dog breeds that he says he would never, ever, ever get. So we're going to get into those dog breeds coming up in a few minutes. Plus, all the stories that you missed while you're at work today, we'll have that for you coming up next on The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
Holland America's Best Deal of the Year is ending soon for your vacation next summer to Alaska, Europe, and beyond. This incredible offer is your last chance to enjoy 60% off top amenities. Plan your cruise today and receive specialty dining, shore excursions, a low price guarantee, and free prepaid crew appreciation. Plus, get free upgrades to premium Wi-Fi and the elite beverage package included in your fare when you book by September 30th. Visit hollandamerica.com for more details or to plan your next trip.
Now, the 3 big things you need to know.
3. A suspect is in custody in the 1996 murder of rapper Tupac. Las Vegas police say Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was arrested early this morning and is expected to be indicted. It's the first arrest since since Shakur was killed in a drive-by shooting near the Las Vegas Strip 27 years ago. 2. A Michigan judge is ruling the teen who shot 7 people and killed 4 at Oxford High School in November of 2021 can be sentenced to life without parole. The judge noted this morning that Ethan Crumbly has a slim chance of rehabilitation. He said the teen is obsessed with violence even while he is being held in jail. 1. The odds of a government shutdown increasing. The House failed to pass a Republican-led short-term funding bill this afternoon. All Democrats and 21 Republicans voted against the bill that included deep cuts and border provisions.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
If you're just joining us here on the Joe Kelley Show, here are the stories that you missed today while you're at work. And this story broke just after 9 o'clock this morning as Senator Dianne Feinstein has died at the age of 90. Say what you will about her politically. I know that a lot of our listeners may say good riddance, goodbye, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. But she really was an absolute trailblazer in American history. The longest-serving female senator in U.S. history. It is a shame she didn't get out when the getting was good. It's a shame she didn't retire. It's sad to see people that, die at the age of 90 on the job anywhere, much less the United States Senate. Also, the Associated Press reported that the Supreme Court has agreed to decide whether state laws that seek to regulate Facebook, TikTok, X, and other social media platforms violate the U.S. Constitution. So it depends on whether or not the states are allowed to regulate social media. The Biden administration will offer 3 Gulf of Mexico areas for oil drilling over the next 5 years. And you may think to yourself, well, all right, that's great. That's not. That is a record low number of offshore leases for drilling. This is Bloomberg reports the United Auto Workers Union plans to expand their strike against General Motors, Stellantis, and Ford to 3 more assembly plants. As Laurel just reported in the news a moment ago, CNN had the story 6 hours ago that the Michigan school shooter Ethan Crumbley is eligible for life in prison without parole for the 2021 shooting that killed 4 students. 6 hours ago, CNN reported that the New York governor declares a state of emergency as torrential rain causes widespread flooding in New York City, forcing the closure of a LaGuardia airport terminal. I will tell you that this morning, as many of you were, I was listening to Brian Kilmeade, as I do every single day, and Kilmeade was talking about how bad it was raining in New York. And I thought about us here in Orlando, and I'm like, come on, how bad can it be? How bad? Then I saw the video, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, it's bad. It's really bad, the flooding in New York City right now, especially a city that just doesn't get that kind of flooding like we, tend to down here. 5 hours ago, this is interesting, the Associated Press reported that a judge has ended the conservatorship agreement between former NFL player Michael Orr and the Memphis couple who took him in. The story inspired the book and the movie The Blind Side. The judge said he was appalled at the conservatorship and pretty much yelled the riot act at the couple that took him in, the family that took him in. This is interesting, and Hannity brought this up. The Associated Press had the story 4 hours ago. I think it was Eric Erickson who brought this up. The Navy is going to start randomly testing special operations troops for performance-enhancing drugs. That is a step that military leaders have long resisted. These are men. Are there women? Do we have women special operators? I don't know if we have women special operators. But these are men and maybe women who are the elite of the elite, the top performers. Whoa, I would almost feel like we would be handing out performance-enhancing drugs to them, not testing them for that. It is interesting, the priorities in our military these days, as we will allow people in the military who are taking hormone drugs and transition drugs, but we're going to stop them from taking performance-enhancing drugs. 4 hours ago, the AP had the story, big news. Las Vegas police make an arrest in the 1996 drive-by shooting of hip-hop icon Tupac Shakur. Laurel, you know that thing that I do? You know that thing that I always do when there's a news story?
Yeah, that thing.
Do you know which thing I'm talking about?
No.
Every time there's a news story, I say, oh, I used to live there.
Oh, yes, you do that. That's true.
I do that. I lived in Las Vegas in 1996. I was there when Tupac Shakur was gunned down in the middle of the street. I wasn't there, but I lived in Las Vegas at the time. The White House estimates 3.5 million federal workers are going to go without pay if the government shuts down. Roughly 2 million of them are going to be in the military. This as the Catholic Archdiocese of Baltimore files for bankruptcy because of child sex abuse survivors have sued them. The Catholic Church could just sell a little bit of their real estate and they would be able to pay for all of the victims that still have not all been identified, and all the priests have not been identified. I'm Joe Kelley. We'll continue. We do have a rocket launch later tonight. I know we're talking about fictitious rockets in the first segment. We're going to talk about real rockets coming up the next hour. And then in the 6 o'clock hour, our Friday night fun and games, we're going to mix it up a little bit tonight. We're going to do movie quote trivia in the 6 o'clock hour. I'm pretty fired up about that. So y'all stick with us. That's coming up.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. In-depth segments on topics that matter to Orange, Seminole, Osceola, and all of Central Florida. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
I love your show every night. You're doing great, bud.
All right, coming up after 6 o'clock, everybody needs to get a pencil and paper. We're going to do movie quote trivia. We're going to do a little bit differently than we've done it in the past. All right, so we're going to have that for you coming up just after 6 o'clock. All right, so there's a dog trainer here in Florida. He's said to be a famous dog trainer. His name is Garrett Wing, and he runs the Florida-based American Standard Dog Training, and he has some 3.2 million followers on TikTok. And he has identified 3 dog breeds that he says he would never, ever, 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 ever own. And Laurel, you're not only our official Star Wars correspondent, but you're our canine correspondent as well.
I'm very talented.
Yes, you
important things.
Yeah, very diverse interests. So, all right, so you've not seen the story. So, what dog breeds would you suggest that a dog trainer says you should never get?
My very first guess is a Shiba Inu. My second guess is a Husky.
Okay.
Shiba Inus are known to be, they're so smart, they're incredibly stubborn, and I've heard from a dog trainer myself that they're incredibly hard to train because of that. And Huskies are wild childs and have so much energy and can be so destructive that I feel like unless you've had them or you're a very experienced dog trainer, Huskies can be iffy.
Greg Rhodes, do you have any guesses here as to what dog breeds?
I've heard things about Dalmatians as well. They're the same idea, high energy. They bite a little bit. That's my main guess, I guess.
Because boxers kind of fall into that same category, high energy. Boxers are nothing but energy. I will tell you that none of your guesses are right.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm really interested.
There's one dog breed here, one of the 3 that I've never heard of. So maybe you've heard of this dog, but it's the Central Asian Shepherd, also known as I think it's pronounced Alibi. It's Alabai. Would that be Alibi? So I've never heard of that one, the Central Asian Shepherd. He says the male dogs can grow to 170 pounds, and they're great livestock guardians. But if you don't have livestock, you do not want a 170-pound dog. I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. It's big. It's got a lot of energy. It wants a job. And if you don't give it one, it's going to make eating your couch a job.
That's exactly right. And honestly, I don't weigh 170 pounds. Yeah. So that dog would be heavier than me. But the second dog on the list is a bloodhound.
I heard that they can be very smelly.
He says, he says the breed can grow up to 110 pounds, which is why, but that rather is not why he's reluctant to get one. He said it's not the size, it's their oily skin. Wow, Laurel, you're good at this.
I know stuff.
The oily skin makes them stink like no other dog. I don't care how many baths you give them, they just have a smell about them that's hard to get rid of.
Yeah, with all the folds and stuff. And
wow.
They're stinky.
I'm impressed with your knowledge. Now, I'm hesitant to bring up the third dog.
Is it my dog?
No, but if I'm not mistaken, the dog is in the building right now.
Oopsies.
I am reasonably sure.
Okay, don't tell her, but I agree.
Greg, open your door real quick, Greg.
And yell for her.
And yell for Mo. Just shout for Mo. We need Mo to come here.
So I used to volunteer at an animal shelter, and I'll tell you, I wasn't scared of the pit bulls. I wasn't scared of the German shepherds. I was scared to go get these dogs.
Yeah. So I know she has she brings the dog in every now and again, which I always love. But the dog is a Chihuahua.
Mm-hmm.
Chihuahua. And I'm reasonably sure that there is a Chihuahua in our building right now. And it is the sweetest, cutest little dog.
She goes against her breed standards.
Its name is Kylo.
I can confirm Kylo is here. I've seen Kylo today.
Or Chiron or Crypto. it's something like that. Carla. It's one of those names, but it's in the building. But here, listen. This is what he says about the Chihuahua. He says, this is so bad. He says, if I needed a 3-pound demon from the underworld that served no other purpose than to sit on my lap and bite anything that comes within 3 feet of me, then I would get a Chihuahua.
It's true. They shake all the time. They're just
shaking.
Nervous.
The shaking is what gets me.
Yeah, they're nervous and scared of their whole world until they'll bite anything that comes near it.
Yeah.
Typically. Not all of them. Not Kyra. She's wonderful and amazing and cute. Joe's gone to get her.
Joe is going to fetch the dog. I called for Mo, but maybe Mo doesn't respond to my voice the same way she will to Joe's.
Joe did do it a little louder than you did.
I would have called the dog, but I don't know the dog's name. It's Chiron, Crypto. Seriously, what is that dog's name?
It's named after an anime character that has a K name, and none of us can decide exactly what that name is.
Yeah. So there you go. If you guys agree or disagree on these dogs. Did you know that today is the final? First of all, did you know that Netflix, until today, was still mailing out DVDs to subscribers? There are people within the sound of my voice right now that weren't even aware that that was how Netflix got started. Before Netflix became a streaming platform, Netflix was cutting edge. Netflix is what killed Blockbuster Video. I mean, because Netflix decided we're going to mail DVDs to people. You no longer have to come to a store. And they would mail DVDs to people, and you could keep them for as long as you wanted, and then mail them back when you're finished. And they had different levels of partnerships, you know, that you could get 3 movies at once, you could get 5 movies at once, or just 1 movie at once. But today is the final day that they are shipping DVDs by mail. That service ends today. Now, get this. If you're one of the people, and I honestly, like if you look on Netflix, I don't even know where it says that you could have still had a DVD mailed to you. But they say that if you get the DVD in the mail, keep it. I wish I would have known that. I might have ordered a few DVDs on the very last day. So anybody, and this is, wow, they started this 25 years ago. 25 years ago. That's really hard to believe. Ever since we switched over to the 2000s, I've really lost track of time. I struggle with what year it is and everything else like that. So 25 years ago, Netflix started by mailing DVDs to people. It's pretty amazing. All right, coming up here on the Joe Kelley Show on our Friday, we're going to have our movie quote trivia for you coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. So if you fancy yourself as a cinnabun, if you fancy yourself as a cinnamon bun, if you like movies, you're going to want to stick around for the 6 o'clock hour, because we're going to have our Friday night fun and games, and we're going to put everybody to the test, as I'm going to have some movie quotes for you. And you're going to have to try to identify those movie quotes. That'll be coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, so stick around for that. My name is Joe Kelley. You are listening to The Joe Kelley Show. You can find The Joe Kelley Show podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find it in the on-demand section and the WDBO app and so much more. Check it out. Also look for The Joe Kelley Show on Facebook.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. News, weather, traffic, all the things you want on your drive home. Plus, Joe Kelley being, well, Joe Kelley. Now, the Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's News and Talk, WDBO.
Hey, Joe, my name's Blake. This doesn't have anything to do with what you're talking about, but it just occurred to me that I really loved you on the morning show. Scott Inez does a great job, and I was disappointed when you didn't take back over. But I really love this 5 o'clock show that you're doing now. So best of luck to you. Keep it up, buddy.
Oh, man, thank you so much. What a kind thing to say to me. And I will tell you, I always tell you guys, I can only be honest with you. I can't lie to you. And I was disappointed. I was really, really disappointed. And it wasn't my decision. to leave the morning show. And I was bummed. And I went through a few months where I had kind of a bad attitude about it. And I was told when I was taken off the morning show that I would be getting an afternoon show. And I have been in radio long enough to know, I've been alive long enough to know that, I'll believe it when I see it. And as all the pieces started coming together, I got to tell you, I am loving my career now more than I have in a very, very, very long time. And the feelings I had about leaving the morning show, the uncomfortable feelings I had about leaving the morning show are long behind me. And I praise the radio station for their vision and what they decided to do. I am ecstatic for Scott Inez. I think he's doing a tremendous job on Orlando's Morning News, and I'm so happy with how everything has turned out. I think we got a great team here in the afternoon with Laurel and Greg, and while we got Beverly Bentley Steele today, but we usually have Paul Cross here, and we got a great team, and I'm just fired up about it. So thank you so much, and I really, really do appreciate that you have recognized that, and we just have so much fun. We really, really have a lot of fun doing this. I'm watching, by the way, the Space Coast very closely and listening in.
To the payload fairings coming up on October 3rd.
Yeah, there's a launch in 53 minutes and 54 seconds.
October 9th.
It's going to be another SpaceX
Monday.
Falcon 9 with more Starlink internet satellites. I will say that the weather looks pretty cruddy at the moment. There have been passing light showers out at Cape Canaveral, and their backup launch is going to be tomorrow, and the weather looks even worse for tomorrow. So we'll see if that's going to happen, but it's scheduled to launch at 6:49 p.m. tonight, and you'll be able to hear that live if it happens. Coming up in the next hour, a little bit, it'll be in 53 minutes and 20 seconds, actually, if you want to get specific about this. I don't know if you guys saw the story where we started out the hour talking about Disney. Let's wrap up this hour talking about Disney. A couple is suing Disney World, claiming that that a woman got a wedgie at Typhoon Lagoon on the ride, the Humunga Cowabunga. It's a 214-foot water slide. And people plummet down a near vertical 5-story drop, and then there's no raft, there's no tube, anything like that, and then it kind of straightens out, and you're told to cross your legs at your ankles, but sometimes you get going so fast that you uncross your legs, and evidently this woman got a very painful wedgie and immediately started bleeding. Because at first you kind of laugh and you think, it's a wedgie. Started bleeding, had to take an ambulance to the hospital. Eventually taken to a different hospital for a specialist. I'm guessing they ended up, by going to a different hospital, they probably ended up at ORMC because that's a trauma center. And that she suffered severe and permanent bodily injury to her private area and damage to her internal organs. I can tell you that I've been on that ride one time. Laurel, have you ever been on that ride, the Humunga Cowabunga?
I don't think so, no.
I've been on that ride one time, and I will say that I didn't want to ride it again after I rode it because it does kind of, you feel violently going down and hitting the water, and I was like, ow. And honestly, okay, this is so dorky. I'm so skinny that my spinal cord, my back, I can't sit on chairs. I can't even, like if I sit in a church pew that has a hardwood back, or if I'm in a restaurant and it's a hardwood chair, it hurts my back because I don't have any fat back there. I'm telling you, I'm a skeleton wrapped with skin. That's it. And so that was uncomfortable for me to ride that ride. I didn't get the wedgie thing, but that's terrible to get a wedgie going down that thing, the poor woman. I'm sure. And this kind of stuff happens. People get injured. I don't want to say all the time, but it happens. And I'm sure Disney will, I don't know, they'll fight it or they'll settle it or they'll go to court or something like that will happen. Coming up the next hour, all right, our Friday night fun and games gets underway. It's Friday night high school football, which I'm fired up about. If you're heading out to a football game this evening, we do have scattered passing showers, so you might need to bring a poncho or something of the sort. Bring a towel to dry off the bleachers if you want to sit down. We'll have our movie trivia for you coming up the next hour. Everybody, I'm talking to you. Everybody grab a pencil and paper and get ready to write down your answers as we'll have movie trivia coming up the next hour.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Now, WDBO WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Triple Team Traffic.
Heavy delays on I-4 eastbound as you're heading around Champions Gate. I-4 eastbound solid before US 27 to pass the 429. Solid again through Lake Buena Vista and busy downtown, and heavy 46A to the bridge. Westbound backups around downtown. The Turnpike solid Sand Lake to pass the 528, and solid from the Osceola Parkway to US 27 with the wreck at the 429 off to the side. This traffic report sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Ask for Fresh from Florida by name and look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo at local grocery stores near you. Join Fresh from Florida Club at freshfromflorida.com. From the WDBO Triple Team Traffic Center, I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Orlando's news and talk. Connected to our community. Talk local issues and events with Joe Kelley. Use the open mic in the WDBO app and let Joe know what interests you. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
By the way, I saw a tweet here on X from Tyler, and I saw this actually. I ran into Publix just last night because I was hungry on the way home, and I wanted to go in and I got some sushi last night as I was on my way home, and I got some sushi. And as I did, I walked through the frozen food section, and I saw that Bluebell ice cream was on sale. And Tyler had just tweeted me or X'd me the same thing. I don't know if Tyler, I don't know if it's a he or she. I think it's a he. Says, I know you already spent $9 on that Bluebell ice cream this week at Publix, but it's on sale for $6.49 right now. I saw that, and I was so excited that it was on sale last night. All right, it's Friday night fun and games. We've got our contestants lined up. First, in no particular order. Actually, it's kind of in order. Laurel, we have Laurel Lee. Hello, Laurel.
Hey, hi, hello.
All right, there we go. We've got our producer, Greg Rhodes. Hello, Greg.
Hello, everybody.
And we have two callers, both of whom are named Michael. We have Michael Gould and Michael Gray. Hello, Michael Gould. How are you?
I'm good, Joe. It's Firearms Mike.
Firearms Mike. Glad to have you. And then, by the way, they just pushed back the rocket launch till 10 p.m.
Of course they did.
Yeah, of course they did. And then we have Michael Gray, who happens to be on the road right now. And, Michael, you're driving through the town and the community in which I grew up. Where are you?
I'm currently on I-10. We're just a little bit west of Beaumont, Nederland. We just got into Louisiana. And just point of order, I am not actually driving. I'm in the passenger seat safely, not talking on the phone, participating from the driver's seat. I'm in the passenger seat.
And we made real clear of that before we even invited you on. We want to make sure that you were not driving. So good. All right, so here's how this is.
Thank you for bringing our goods in, Michael.
That's right. So this is how this is going to work. I have got a long list of movie quotes that I'm going to play for you, and you're going to write down your answers on a piece of paper. Okay? So instead of just whoever gets it right first, you're going to write down your answers on a piece of paper. I hope Michael, you guys have paper there with you that you can write down with. And
yes, sir. Your screener told us that.
All right, very good. And here we go. And some of these are going to be really easy. In fact, the first one I think is going to be really easy. And then some of these are going to be impossibly hard. And keep in mind that I need the exact title of the movie. Some of these movies may sound familiar to you, but they might be a sequel or a prequel or something else like that. So here's your first movie quote. Everybody at home, write these down and play along with us. So here we go. Here's your first one.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're going to build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
All right, that was your first one. I think that was pretty easy. All right.
Yes.
Here is your second movie.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Just in case you didn't hear it.
Hasta la vista, baby.
All right, write down.
Joe, he said that in every movie. That could be any of them.
No, it's got to be the first time that appeared in a movie. First time. So write down the first time that appeared.
Okay.
Here's your third movie.
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is Sparta.
I'm going to play that again. I know that might have been kind of hard to hear.
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is Sparta.
All right, what movie was that? Here is movie number 4.
It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
Everybody catch that? You want to hear it again?
It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
By the way, that is not the Chihuahua that's doing the barking right now.
No, that's my dog.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And what kind of dog is that, Michael?
That is a pit bull terrier mix.
Oh, I bet it's gorgeous. All right, here's your 5th movie. Listen very carefully.
Harry, I've reached the top.
I will tell you that I would not have gotten that one. I'll do it again.
Harry, I've reached the top.
Okay, cut number 6. And I will tell you that if Laurel doesn't get this one right, she will be kicked out of several clubs. So listen to cut number 6.
He told me you killed him. No, I am your father.
Here it is again.
He told me you killed him. No, I am your father.
All right, clip number 7.
This is a tasty burger. Vincent.
Such a great movie that was.
This is a tasty burger. Vincent.
All right, cut number 8.
I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
All right, that one should be pretty easy. Cut number 9.
Get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamn right.
I think that one was pretty easy. And finally, cut number 10. Here's your last one for this segment. Cut number 10.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
Now, for that movie, I know, like, a lot of us know that line, but it might be hard to identify what movie that came from. So let's go back. All right, so we're going to go back to number 1. Laurel, what did you have for number 1?
I had Back to the Future.
Greg, what did you have for number 1?
Back to the Future.
Michael, Firearms Michael, what did you have?
Yes, Back to the Future.
And Michael Gray.
Back to the Future.
Very good. Everybody's so far perfect score for everybody. Cut number 2.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Laurel, what did you have?
The Terminator.
What did you have, Greg?
Terminator 2.
What did you have, Firearms Michael?
Yes, Terminator 2.
Michael Gray.
Terminator 2.
Everybody is right except Laurel.
Womp, womp.
Womp, womp. It was Terminator 2. Here is cut number 3.
This is blasphemy. This is madness. Sparta!
Laurel, what did you have?
300.
Greg, what did you have?
300.
Firearms Michael.
300.
Michael Gray.
300.
I don't know that I would have got that one right. I think I would have got that one wrong. All right, cut number 4. Here we go.
It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
Laurel.
Big old question mark. I don't know.
All right, Greg.
Spider-Man.
Firearms Michael.
I said Fight Club.
And Michael Gray.
I did not know.
Wow. So I guessed the right genre. I guessed the wrong movie. That is, listen to it again.
It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
English Patient.
I knew that was a Batman movie, but I wouldn't have known which Batman movie it was. That was Batman Begins. So nobody got that one right. All right, here's clip number... Well, yeah, that's right. Thank you for the sound effect there. Clip number 5.
Harry, I've reached the top.
All right, Laurel.
I totally guessed Home Alone.
Okay, Greg.
Oh, that's a better guess than mine. Mine was Dumb and Dumber.
All right, Firearms Michael.
I don't know.
Michael Gray.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Wow.
Dang.
Michael Gray is the only one who got it right. It's Home Alone 2.
Nice.
There is no way that I would have got that one. I would have definitely got that one wrong. So,
Full trucker effect.
yeah, there you go. All right, so now let me see. Did I not play this one already? Am I out of order?
He told me you killed him.
You're right.
No, you're right.
Oh, yeah,
Star
okay.
Wars.
All right, Laura, what movie was that?
Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back.
Greg?
I think that's correct. I put Return of the Jedi, though. I'll be honest.
Okay, very good. Firearms, Michael?
I said Star Wars 3.
Which is wrong. Michael Gray?
Empire Strikes Back.
Yep, Empire Strikes Back is the right answer. All right, movie clip number 7.
This is a tasty burger. Vincent.
Such a great movie. Laurel?
I didn't know. Now I know what it is. Then I've reheard it, but I didn't know.
Okay, Greg?
Hey, Joe, do you know what they call a quarter pounder in Europe?
I do know what they call a quarter pounder in Europe.
A Royale with cheese, but I cannot remember the name of the movie.
Oh, no! Firearms, Michael.
It is so Pulp Fiction. Say what again?
There you go. Michael Gray.
I did not know it at the time, but now I remember it's Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction it is. That's right. All right, clip number 8.
And I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
That one should be so easy. Laurel.
I don't know. I didn't know it.
Wow, Greg.
I don't have it.
Laurel.
Wow, Firearms, Michael.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
There you go, Michael Gray.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
There you go. Absolutely right. All right, here's your last one for. Oh no, we got 2 more for this segment.
Get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamn right.
Laurel.
I guess Shawshank Redemption.
Greg.
Shawshank Redemption.
Firearms, Michael.
Absolutely.
Yep. Michael Gray.
Shawshank Redemption.
I will tell you, Laurel. You know that thing that I do.
Where you've lived everywhere.
Yeah.
That thing.
So at the end of that movie, when he says...
You were in Shawshank?
No. But I've been to Zihuatanejo. At the end of that movie, he says, meet me in Zihuatanejo, which is a Mexican coastal town. I have been to Zihuatanejo. All right, here is your last movie clip for this segment. We'll have more on the next segment. Here's your last clip for this segment.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
All right, Laurel, what is it?
Like you said, I know the quote, do not know the movie.
All right, Greg.
Know the quote, no movie.
Firearms, Michael.
Does Guns N' Roses, the band, count?
No, it does not. Michael Gray.
Damn.
Is it Major Payne?
No, all of you guys got it wrong. And for what it's worth, I also would have got this one wrong. That is Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand no.
Cool Hand Luke. All right, everybody, hang on. We're going to continue our Friday night fun and games with our movie quote trivia. Play along at home. Write down your answers, and we'll have our next set of movies for you. Coming up next, don't nobody go nowhere.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Insightful.
You tell the truth from your point of view.
Entertaining.
Man, that guy is a lot taller than he sounds on the radio.
And engaging.
When we hear you on the radio, it's a good thing.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
Well, if you're just joining us, it's our Friday night fun and games. We like to kind of unwind a little bit on Friday nights. As, everybody works hard all week, all day. It's been very stressful. And by the time we get around to this last hour on a Friday, we like to just have a little bit of fun. So tonight we're doing movie quote trivia with our contestants Laurel, Greg, and Michael 1 and Michael 2. And we're now into round 2 of our movies. Listen very carefully. Here is your first movie quote. This one should be, I would think, pretty easy.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
I'll play it again since it was so short.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
All right, there's your first one. Here's your second one.
Clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
All right, I'll play it again.
Clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
All right, clip number 3.
Putting in a week.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Putting in a week.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
All right, cut number 4.
Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
All right, I'll play it one more time.
Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
Oop, this is cut number 5, sorry. I'll play that one again. Cut number 6.
Here's Johnny.
I'll play it again.
Here's Johnny.
Cut number 7.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Pretty easy, right?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right, so I'll do one more here in this segment. Here we go.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Play it one more time.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
All right, let's go back to our first one here. Laurel, what did you have for the first one?
You're going to need a bigger boat.
What movie is that?
It is Jaws.
Jaws. She's showing us her work even.
There,
Jaws. All right, Greg, what do you have?
I also had Jaws.
Michael, Firearms Michael, what do you have?
Yes, Jaws.
Michael Gray.
I have many, many friends that would disown me if I got this one wrong.
Yeah.
It's Jaws.
Did you not work at the Jaws feature at Universal at one point?
I did. I did over 16,000 shows over 4 years.
Yeah, so you would be in hot water if you got that one wrong. All right, your second clip, here it is.
Clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Laurel, what movie is that?
I know that's the wonderful Clint Eastwood. I have no idea what movie it's from.
All right, Greg, what movie is that?
Dirty Harry.
Okay, Firearms Michael.
Yes, Dirty Harry Callahan.
Michael Gray.
Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry. I'll tell you that you guys, Dirty Harry is the right answer. But there were a couple different Dirty Harry movies that it could have been. So I am impressed that you guys all got Dirty Harry on that one. All right, here's your third movie.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Now, I would expect every dude to get that one right, though Laurel may get it wrong. Laurel, what movie is that?
It is The Godfather.
Very impressive.
I knew
yes.
it.
I know every man knows that line and knows that movie. Greg, what about you?
Yes, it's The Godfather.
Firearms Michael.
Absolutely, Godfather.
Michael Gray.
So you kind of made a dangerous comment. If I got this wrong,
That's
my
right.
name card would be revoked, right?
Yes.
It's The Godfather.
Okay. Whew. All right. Here's your fourth one.
Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
Laurel.
Oh, that one is Apollo.
Just Apollo?
That's all I know.
Really?
Yes.
All right, Greg.
Apollo 13.
All right. Firearms Michael.
Yes, Apollo 13.
Michael Gray.
Apollo 13.
You couldn't have just guessed a number, Laurel?
Sorry, I'm trying to build my newscast.
Oh, yeah,
so.
sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Is work getting in the way?
I have to work.
Work
so,
is getting in the way of your other work? Is that what the problem is right now?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay, so here is your next movie. All right. Laurel, what is that movie?
I wrote LOTR, but it means Lord of the Rings.
All right, Greg.
Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Firearms Michael.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers.
Michael Gray.
I did not recognize it at all.
See, I would have known Lord of the Rings. I would not have known The Two Towers. It is Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So congratulations to those who got it right. Laurel, you're not amongst those who got it right. I'm sorry to report. All right, here is your last clip for this segment.
Here's Johnny.
Laurel.
I wrote The Shining.
That is right. Greg.
The Shining.
Michael.
Shining.
Michael.
The Shining.
That's right. Oh, we do have one more, don't we? Here we go. Last one.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Laurel.
Yeah, you have two more to go.
I know. I realize that now,
A Few
too.
Good Men.
Yes.
A Few Good Men.
Yes. Michael.
Yes, Few Good Men.
Okay. Here's the last.
Good men.
Here's the last one for this segment.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Laurel.
Taxi driver.
Nice. I'm surprised. I'm impressed that you got that. Greg.
Taxi driver.
Firearms Michael.
Absolutely, Taxi Driver.
Michael Gray.
I guess Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. That was a good guess. That was totally a good guess. All right, hang on. We'll catch up with the news. Laurel's going to do some of that work she was just talking about. We'll have that for you coming up next, and we will have round 3 of our movie trivia. It's going to get harder as it comes up next. Stay with
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Breaking news to lively debates, covering the issues that matter to you.
I make it a point to listen to Joe Kelley when I need to fully understand what's happening in the news.
Now, the Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's news and talk, WDBO.
Yeah, it's a Friday night fun and games, and we've got movie trivia for you, movie quote trivia. Listen very carefully. Laurel, Greg, Michael, and Michael. Here is your next movie. Listen carefully.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Okay, I'm going to play it again. It was short. The music bed is playing. We'll bring that music bed down so you can hear it real good.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
All right. Write down your answer. If you know your answer, write it down. Here we go. Your second movie.
I just want to say one thing. To my wife who's home. Yo, Adrian! I did it!
All right. Write it down. 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 Here's your third movie.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Ooh, that's weird. I just got chills hearing that line right there from that movie. All right. Everybody got that one?
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
That's been parodied so many times. I can hear Jake Peralta on Brooklyn Nine-Nine doing that same line. All right, here's your next one.
This is no democracy. It is a dictatorship. I am the law. If you survive camp, you will be on the team. If you survive.
I'd be willing to bet that everybody could identify the actor, but it's the movie that we need. The movie that we need on that one. Here's your next movie.
That's a lovely accent you have. New Jersey?
Austria.
Austria? Well then, good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
All right. This one's a little bit long, and I think this will stump everybody.
I have to believe in a world outside my own mind. I have to believe that my actions still have meaning, even if I can't remember them. I have to believe that when my eyes are closed, the world's still there. Do I believe the world's still there? Is it still out there? Yeah. We all need mirrors to remind ourselves who we are. I'm no different.
Don't ask me to play that again. It's too long. All right, here is your next one.
I had no idea you could milk a cat.
Oh, yeah, you can milk anything with nipples. I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Such a great line. All right, here is your next movie.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
I honestly, after hearing that clip right there, I think I'm going to go home and see if I can find it on one of my streaming platforms and watch that movie. Just to see him do that line again. All right, here's your next one.
Hope. It is the only thing stronger than fear. A little hope is effective. A lot of hope is dangerous. A spark is fine, as long as it's contained.
Okay. Your next movie. I'll give you time to write it all down. If you're writing them down, write it down, write it down, write it down, write it down. Here's your next movie.
What makes you think you can just walk in there and find what we need?
They're called boobs, Ed.
I'm going to play it again.
What makes you think you can just walk in there and find what we need?
They're called boobs, Ed.
They're called boobs, Ed. That's what she says. Here's your next movie.
What we doing live?
Echoes in eternity.
I'll play it again.
What we doing live? Echoes in eternity.
All right. We have 2 more left. Here we go.
He may have advanced illusionary schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, but he is a very gentle person.
That's a hard one, isn't it?
He may have advanced illusionary schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, but he is a very gentle person.
All right. Here is the last movie clip I have for you for today. All right, let's go back to the top now and see what your answers are. See if you have the right answers. Here is the first one.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Laurel, what do you have?
I have Apocalypse Now.
Greg, what do you have?
I didn't have it.
Michael, Firearms Michael, what do you have?
Apocalypse Now.
Did you say apocalypse?
Apocalypse.
Okay, Michael Gray.
I did not have it.
All right, Apocalypse Now is the right answer. All right, here's your second movie clip.
I just want to say one thing to my wife who's home. Yo, Adrian! I did it!
Laura, what movie is that?
Rocky 2.
Greg, what movie is that?
Rocky 2.
Firearms Michael.
Rocky 2.
Michael Gray.
I'm going with Rocky 2 as well.
All right, that is exactly right. That is Rocky 2. I would have guessed Rocky, so yeah, you guys are good. All right, here's your next one.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Laurel, what is that movie?
Braveheart.
Greg, what is that movie?
Braveheart.
All right, Firearms Michael.
Yes, Braveheart.
Michael Gray.
Aye, that's Braveheart.
All right, here's your next movie.
This is no democracy. It is a dictatorship. I am the law. If you survive camp, you will be on the team. If you survive.
That was such a good movie. Laurel, what is it?
No clue.
Greg, what is it?
Remember the Titans.
Firearms Michael.
Yes, Remember the Titans.
Michael Gray.
I guess Training Day.
Training Day. Yep, that is Remember the Titans. Very nice. All right, here's your next movie.
That's a lovely accent you have. New Jersey?
Austria.
Austria? Well then, good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Laurel, what is that movie?
I have no idea.
Greg, what is that movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
Michael, Firearms Michael.
Yes, Dumb and Dumber.
Michael Gray.
This is a hard round. I didn't know it.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber is the right answer. And, you know, I laughed my head off during Dumb and Dumber, but I watched it a second time, and it wasn't as funny the second time as it was the first. All right, here's what I think is the hardest clip that we have for you. Take a listen.
I have to believe in a world outside my own mind. I have to believe that my actions still have meaning, even if I can't remember them. I have to believe that when my eyes are closed, the world's still here. Do I believe the world's still there?
All right, I'm going to cut it short there. Laurel, what is that?
Nada. No idea.
Greg Rhodes.
Didn't have it.
Firearms Michael.
I believe that's a housing development outside of Cairo.
Michael Gray.
The Bourne Identity?
That is a Christopher Nolan movie. That is the movie Memento. I also would have got that one wrong, so if that helps at all. All right, your next movie.
I had no idea you could milk a cat.
Oh, yeah, you can milk anything with nipples. I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
If that's not one of the funniest lines in a movie ever, I don't know what is. Laura, what is that movie?
I've never seen this movie, but people quote that
Yeah.
line, so it's Meet the Fockers.
All right. Greg, what is that movie?
Meet the Parents.
Firearms Michael, what is that movie?
Yes, Laurel is wrong. It's Meet the Parents.
Michael Gray, what is that movie?
Definitely Meet the Parents.
Laurel is wrong.
So I took a chance saying that word on the radio, and I'm wrong?
Yes, that's
It's a
exactly
double
right.
whammy?
That's
Fantastic.
exactly right. Yes. You risked an FCC fine.
I was so nervous over here, you have no idea.
For the wrong answer. All right.
Great.
Hang on. Here's your next one.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want.
That's all I'm going to play because we're going to run out of time. Laurel, what is that movie?
Taken.
All right. Greg, what is the movie?
Taken.
Firearms Michael.
Yes, Vegas.
Michael Gray.
Taken.
Here's your next one.
Hope. It is the only thing stronger than fear.
All right, Laurel, what is that movie?
I don't know.
Greg, what is that movie?
Mockingjay.
Firearms Michael, what is that movie?
John Wick.
Michael Gray, what is that movie?
I guess it was one of the Harry Potter movies.
It was the first one. Hunger Games was that movie. Did anybody get it right?
No clue.
Was it the first one? I thought it was in Mockingjay, the second one.
I got Hunger Games.
Take it. All
right.
I'm not arguing.
Here's your next one.
What makes you think you can just walk in there and find what we need?
They're called boobs, Ed.
They're called boobs, Ed. All right, what is that movie, Laurel?
I don't know. Sounds hilarious.
All right. Greg, what is that movie?
I couldn't remember the name of it.
All right, what is that movie, Firearms Michael?
Aaron Brockovich.
What is it, Michael Gray?
No clue.
Aaron Brockovich is the right answer. Very nice. Your next movie.
What we doing live? Echoes in eternity.
Laurel, what is it?
I don't know. Braveheart again. I don't know.
That's what I thought. that was actually my answer too. Greg.
Gladiator.
Firearms Michael.
Gladiator.
Michael Gray.
I also guess Gladiator.
Yeah, Gladiator it is. You're absolutely right. Here's your next one.
He may have advanced illusionary schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, but he is a very gentle person.
Laurel, what is it?
I don't know.
I didn't, yeah. Greg.
No idea.
Firearms Michael.
Me, myself, and Irene.
Oh, my gosh! Michael Gray.
Didn't have it.
Me, myself, and Irene is the right answer. I am so impressed. There's no way I would have got that one. All right, here is your last movie clip.
I am fire. I am death.
I thought that was some sort of Oppenheimer, but it's not.
I thought it was a Thanos line, but it's not.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So, Laura, what do you have?
Nothing.
All right. Greg, what do you have?
The Hobbit, Desolation of Smog.
What do you have, Firearms Michael?
Joseph Volcano.
Okay, all right. Michael Gray.
I'm going to go with Transformers.
It is The Hobbit, The Dissolution of Smog. Greg, great job on that one. I didn't keep score. Did anybody keep score?
That was your job.
I know. I've got one job.
We have other jobs going on.
Yes, that's right. I actually have to play the clips. I don't know if you know that, but I have another job here. All right, listen, Michael Gray, drive safe. I know you're doing the Lord's work right now in driving where you are, and so thank you for that. Firearms Michael, thank you so much for joining us. Greg and Laurel, great job as always. We will continue. It's the Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Orange, Seminole, Osceola, and all of Central Florida. Join the conversation now by using the open mic in the WDBO app. Now, the Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's News and Talk, WDBO.
I don't want to name names, but Laurel went way too long in that last segment, so that means we're out of time here in this segment, Laurel. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of the Joe Kelley Show. We love you very much. Be safe this weekend. We need you back here Monday. We cannot afford to lose any listeners, so we need you back here Monday, 5 till 7, the Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
Love, exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you. Princess Cruises, the original love boat, is making another run to amazing destinations around the world. Aboard Princess, you'll love our world-class dining, spectacular production shows, curated excursions, and so much more. Book early and save up to 50%. Call 1-800-PRINCESS, visit princess.com, or contact your travel advisor today. Offer ends 10/31/23. Terms and conditions apply. Ships at Bermudan and British Registry.